Hello, Mr. Pius, can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, sure, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can. How are you?
Great, I'm all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm very fine.
Nice
Thanks
to hear
for
from you.
joining us today. Yeah, nice to hear from you too. So I want to welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Learn with Venus. It's actually a pleasure to connect with you all for the first time. It's actually a brand new space, and I'm really excited. I'm Debbie. I'm your host for today. For those of us that don't know me, for those of us that don't know me, I'm actually Venice ambassador. I'm the English community ambassador. So hello once again, and today we have a special guest. A Web3 expert is here with us, and today will be providing us with valuable insights into DeFi and its benefits. So, welcome, Mr. Pius. Hello, and once again, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Hi, Debs. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys to share some insight about DeFi. And when I got the invite from you, I was quite excited because Venus is one protocol I am a huge fan of, and I've been an active member of. So I am really happy to be on this call and to share my knowledge about DeFi.
Okay, we are really excited to have you here also. So,
Yeah.
after the call, or during the call, if any of you guys have questions for Mr. Pius or myself, feel free to drop it in the comment section. Feel free. So, Mr. Pius, can we begin?
Sure, we can. Let's proceed.
Okay. So, I have some questions here for you. But before we go deeper, I would actually like to ask you to give us a bit of an introduction about yourself so we can know you better. Just
Okay.
share us a bit of your experience and your knowledge in the Web3 space. Yeah.
All right. Let me first start by greeting everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Pius Ima-Abasi. I'm basically a social media manager at Arena Games. I, you can call me Pius. I have over about 4 years experience in Web3, and within this period, I've actively contributed into a couple of ecosystems. I've had the privilege of working for amazing projects like Polygon and Oasis Network. Basically, my specialty is helping Web3 companies communicate effectively and connect with their audiences. I do that through compelling designs and content. So basically, I try to drive success and engagement for projects by trying to provide insight about projects through short form content, infographics, designs, and the likes. Um, Currently, I work with Arena Games as a social media manager, and Arena Games is a gaming multi-chain gaming ecosystem that are into bridging Web2 games into the Web3 ecosystem. So basically, I'm really passionate about Web3, and within the past 4 years, I've learned about how independent you as a person can be within several facets of your life, thanks to Web3 and blockchain technology generally. So I'm really excited about being here and to talk about Web3 and DeFi with you guys. So that's it.
Thank you so much for the introduction. You actually have lots of experience, and I am really excited that you'll be sharing some of your knowledge and experience with us today.
All right.
So, my question is this: what
Okay.
are some of the three products you are currently using? Do you mind sharing with us?
Okay. You mean some of the Web3 products I am actively using currently?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I have a couple I use, but I would like to narrow them down to the ones I have been actively using for weeks now. I think the top on my list is obviously Arena Games. I we have a ton of a couple of games on our platform which I play on daily basis during my free time. I try to explore those games, try to play them, and also I get feedback that I can deliver to the team based off how we could improve and all. And the sweet thing about these games are the fact that they are just like your regular Web2 games where you can play on your mobile phones. And the benefits that comes with this one is the fact that while you are playing, you get to earn tokens and the likes. So that's the biggest advantage of this game, playing this game. You know, you're not just playing for fun, but you're also playing to earn, which is a big advantage, a very huge advantage that Web3 gives to us and blockchain generally gives to the entire space. So I feel aside arena games, I've also been exploring a couple of products. I won't lie, I'm also a huge user of Venus protocol. Venus is kind of my go-to whenever I try to put assets for specific tasks around several ecosystem. I can remember late in 2023 when I was still trying to interact with several protocols and in the hopes of getting position for airdrops and grants. I I used to use Venus to secure loans in terms of assets that I don't have. I just put in collateral in form of assets I currently have and get loans that I can use elsewhere to to interact with several protocols and get myself positioned for airdrops. I did a lot of that during in late 2023 down to early 2024. And so basically, I have a ton of other products I use, a ton of other Web3 products I use. Gaming specifically. Lately, I've been a huge gamer lately, and it's quite understandable. Um, I've tried to explore that gaming ecosystem, see what they're doing and how we could integrate into ours. So I've been a huge fan of gaming. Also a ton of other DeFi products. The normal day-to-day activities with DeFi, swapping, using DEXs and the likes. So it's been an exciting journey, and that's basically it in terms of Web3 products. It's something that I've been integrated into my daily lives, and I try to use them on a daily basis. Are you there, Debbie? Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. It seems you're more a fan of GameFi projects, right?
Yeah, yeah. GameFi is my team right now. I won't
Yeah, I
lie.
can hear
It is.
you. I can hear you.
All right.
I
I think.
was saying it's like you're more of a GameFi person.
Yeah, I am. I think you are hearing me late. Um,
Yeah, it's actually it's cool. It's actually very nice. Okay. Oh, it's
yeah.
probably network issue.
Connection.
No, I don't have
Yeah,
I don't have Starlink. So
connection. It's
can you
fine.
hear
It's
me
fine.
now?
We can go on. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's a bit delayed, so we can still go on.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I like. All right. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'm happy you use some of the Web3 products. I myself, I also use some Web3 products.
Okay.
I think it's impossible to be in the space and not use the products. I don't think it's
Yeah,
possible, except if
definitely.
maybe you're just there for like, money grab, or maybe you don't really understand the whole significance of Web3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the thing is, even
a lot of
even in
people
the
are actually working on these very boats because most people, I think, they are just more interested in, yeah, they just, I know, like most people, it's just mainly about token price. They just buy, they buy low, you sell high, you move on, and that's it. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be interested in the price of the token, especially if, let's say, you've done your research, you've read about the use cases of the project, the token, and everything. It's not wrong, but I don't know. I feel it will actually pay more if you are also involved or you're interested in the growth of that project and the growth of Web3, everything, and not just the market being bullish. I
yeah,
think that's what
definitely.
most people don't get. So let's take Venus for example. Now, I want to give. Hello, I someone just sent a message. Hello. Let's take Venus for example. Now, it wasn't quite long we launched Venus Prime. I think we
Yeah.
launched last year, the fourth quarter of last year. But before we launched our
Okay.
Venus Prime, we actually gave our users time to stake their XVS. I don't really like talking about prices, but for the sake of this explanation, I think I'll just have to talk about prices. So
Yeah.
before we launched the Venus Prime, the price of XVS was, I think, around $3 to $4, and there were some people
Wow.
that actually purchased XVS and staked in our vault, so they will qualify for our Venus Prime. You know, to
Yeah. I think we've lost Debbie.
Okay, we lost her, but we will wait for her to come back for a
Hi,
few
Devita.
minutes.
I think we've lost Debbie.
Yeah, yeah. Let's wait for her for a few minutes. I think she lost her connection. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I
sorry.
think she will join us shortly.
Yes.
All right.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hey
hear
there.
you.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. I just got signed off. I don't know what happened. I was trying to log, but yeah, I was already panicking. Sorry. Oh god. So please, I was trying to give a summary of what happened with Venus Prime, but I think time is
Yeah.
actually being higher. So we'll just go to the next question. So
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, I'm really sorry about that. So this particular question I want to ask now is actually for the sake of those who are just hearing about DeFi. So I don't know if
Okay.
you can please briefly explain what DeFi is all about. Just give us a one.
Okay. I would like to use layman terms for the benefit of those that do not really have an idea of what DeFi is. DeFi is like the short form for decentralized finance, which I personally feel is a revolutionary concept. One that is like definitely or is already is not just doesn't just have the prospect to do it, but it's already doing it. It's already trying to disrupt the entire financial system and how it operates. Our day-to-day financial activities, how we get to utilize several financial systems in a more decentralized way. So that's the whole idea of DeFi. And DeFi basically leverages blockchain technology to achieve this. So just let's take your traditional finance system as an example. I grew up in a family where we had a really a father who was a very very big fan of the traditional system. He used to use the bank, the normal traditional banks we had, commercial banks, where he used to perform his normal financial activities, get loans and all. So we grew up in this rigid system where we kind of understood how traditional finance system work and how some of the bottlenecks used to stunt how we um, perform our daily transactions on daily day-to-day basis. I can remember I could remember when you can barely do transactions. I don't know how it is in other part of the world, but growing up, you could barely do transactions on weekend using mobile banking and all. You could barely get loans in banks without having strong um credit score and the likes. You if you don't have a huge collateral in terms of landed assets or a huge chunk of money somewhere, even if it's locked, you might likely not get loans. But with decentralized finance, this whole concept it revolves around trying to make the whole financial system decentralized, trying to make it permissionless and transparent in a way that it's not actually controlled by an entity, it's not controlled by a third party, it's controlled by a pair of smart contracts which have been engineered to work seamlessly without having to need the go ahead from any central authority. So decentralized finance on its own, it's trying to enable peer-to-peer transactions and trying to enable human to human transactions in a very very decentralized manner, and it encompasses just um borrowing and lending, goes beyond just that. It also dictates how we exchange cryptocurrencies across different ecosystem and all. So I personally feel that DeFi in its own has really paved way. It paved way for the last bullish market we had, where we had huge protocols like Uniswap, Aave, Compounds, and the like, which were the top Gs back then in the DeFi ecosystem. They actually paved the way for some of the huge protocols we have today, like Venus and others, and have given us a more open way of transacting financially without having those bottlenecks that are associated with traditional finance. So I believe I can end with G's basic description of saying that decentralized finance is quite the is your traditional finance system on steroids in the sense that it's way more open, it's way more permissionless, it's way more transparent and decentralized. It doesn't need that central authority to operate. So I think I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much for that very detailed response. And yeah, you're right. DeFi has actually they've actually helped a lot. In hello, I just got a message from someone. Hello, so they've actually helped a lot, especially in terms of they're actually solving the issue of finance. They really help a
Yeah,
lot because yeah, there are some countries now like well, let me not mention, but there are some countries where the
yeah,
traditional
I would like to
system.
point that out. I don't know if you can hear me in real time. I would like
Yeah,
to
I
point
can hear
that out.
you.
Yeah, I think DeFi has and blockchain in its own has paved the way for getting some of a huge number of people who were unbanked to be banked now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
from a third world country like Nigeria, I can say for a fact that a huge chunk of people did not have access to traditional finance system and how to use them because of how rigid the structure was. Back then, even till now, getting loans is incredibly hard.
It
I
is
don't know about
very
other parts.
hard.
Yeah, it's
It is
incredibly hard. You need to there are so many bottlenecks to it. You might likely not get loans even after
all the
providing every of the
procedures
details
and
and all.
everything.
Exactly. But with
Yes.
DeFi, it's super easy. And the first time I tried out DeFi in terms of getting loans. I tried it with I think it was Compound then. It was so easy and I was like so surprised at how easy it was, and I was like, wow. So it's really opened my mind to the whole cryptocurrency and blockchain thing. Until now, it's been a smooth sail ever since then. So I think DeFi, if if I can't say anything, but I would say or point out the fact that DeFi has really unbanked, has really banked a lot of people who were unbanked, especially in third world countries like the one I'm in, which is Nigeria. So I think
Yeah,
that's it.
thank you very much. That was well said. Thank you very much for a very detailed response. I'm really enjoying this call. So
Yeah,
so my next yeah. So my next question for you is actually concerning lending protocols. So
okay.
yes, I actually want to know if you're involved. I think you mentioned earlier that you're actually involved in some lending protocols like Venus. You mentioned something about Compound. So we want to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how do you compare DeFi borrowing with traditional lending system? I already know what you think, but just explain for others to understand
Yeah,
better.
yeah, for the record, I'm actively involved in lending protocols. From time to time, I use a couple of them. Just like I mentioned earlier, I try to utilize them, especially when I want to get a certain asset I do not own. I can put in the one I own as collateral, then get an asset that I do not own and get to use it for other stuff, then return it. And the sweet thing about it is whichever asset I put in as collateral, I get benefits on them, I get returns on them. So which is a huge advantage. But in terms of comparing it to traditional finance system, it's way more I don't know the word to use, but the difference is clear, and how they both operate is really clear in terms of superiority and in terms of how the decentralized system helps to make things way better, way smoother, and way faster, and helps to give you that edge over whoever is using traditional lending systems today. I think traditional lending systems are too rigid. They basically do not work, or they work for the airlines. I would like to say
Yeah.
that they basically work for the airlines. They've been engineered to work for the airlines. But having a system that is decentralized, having a system that's open, it works for the masses, which is basically the main aim of crypto or blockchain today. To give everyone access to products, to services that the average man in a traditional system would not have. So I think one benefit that DeFi, in terms of traditional lending systems, one benefit it has over the normal traditional system is the fact that it's super decentralized. Like I said, it reduces the barrier of entry. You don't need to have a huge chunk of collaterals like assets, and you getting those loans is not dependent on someone's temperament or someone's decision. You might go to the bank to get loans, and if the whoever is your is in charge of that aspect of things
Um,
not like tenants or do not like how you look, he might likely deny you the loan, or he might play a huge role in you getting the loan or not getting it. So it reduces the barrier of entry. That's in DeFi. They are all being engineered by smart contracts, so they don't care who is getting the loan or not, provided you satisfy the requirement, you should get the loan. And it also provides increased security through collateralization and smart contracts. I think DeFi has very, very juicy interest rates too, as compared to our rigid traditional finance system.
yeah.
So definitely, so I think those are some of the benefits that um, the normal decentralized finance system offers compared to traditional lending systems we have today.
Yeah, thank you very much. I actually agree with everything you just said. And the truth is, I've
Okay.
actually had my fair share of experience with using traditional banks and the rest. That was why I just made up my mind that it's actually better to use the decentralized finance than normal traditional money market, should I say. I think I remember,
Yeah.
was it last year or last year? Yeah, I know you, I don't know if you've had this experience before. There was one time I actually went with my mom to, I was looking for
Okay.
like a traditional bank. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you. You can go on.
okay. yeah, I was looking for a bank to like should I say supply or put in money. I wanted to use their money market. So
Okay.
I was looking for one with a better percentage rate. And I
Okay.
don't know, for some reason the highest I saw so far was like 4%. And
Wow.
it's actually bad enough that the whole system is completely centralized. Anything can happen to your funds without you knowing. And I don't know if you've heard of some complaints about missing funds. Some even go as far as they can report you. I think it happened one time with with a platform, like they reported an account and then they end up banning the person's account with the person's money inside. So there are cases like that. So because of that, I most times I actually use Venus Protocol because come on, their supply. If you check their markets, their different markets, they have their isolated market. There's Venus core pool, so you can actually just supply your asset. It's not. It doesn't. I'm not sure it takes up to like 30 seconds or 20 to supply your asset, and then you earn interest just for supplying. That was basically what I
Yeah.
wanted to do at the bank. Yeah, that was what I wanted to do at the bank that time. But the whole process, the whole everything was just, and
You get
then
to
you
fill so many forms without any hope that you might likely not get it. So those are some of the crazy things.
exactly, exactly. Venus have actually helped a lot. Me personally, it has helped me a lot because me,
Yeah.
I'm actually big on investing. I'm actually big on passive investment. Like I'm big on I don't like keeping my money in one place. Just I
Yeah.
actually like putting it in things to get in return. So Venus is actually like for me it's the best platform for doing that. So
Yeah.
when I want to save, I just supply my asset there. It could be USDT, USDC, any Bitcoin, Ethereum, anyone. You just supply and then you get your APR, your APY. There are different APYs, there are different percentage rates depending on the market
Yeah.
you supply to. Yeah, so and it's actually very easy. So why would I want to go to the bank, or that son, everything and the whole protocol, and at the end of the day you're not even
Yes.
sure
The whole long
how.
processes and
Yeah,
all KYCs.
yes, a lot of stress, and then at the end of the day, your funds can still go missing, and you won't even have a say in it because the system is so rigid, like you mentioned earlier. So thank you once again for your response, and
Yeah.
let's move on to the next question. So
All right.
we all know, okay. So we all know DeFi lending offers way better yield than traditional lending protocols. We've covered that, especially in
Yeah.
Venus Protocol. I it's true. I was talking about Prime before I got cut off there by this rude internet. I was trying to
Yeah.
explain the whole explain how Prime works and how the users are actually enjoying higher APYs. I think I mentioned you would have to like stake 1,000 XVS. You stake 1,000 XVS for a period of 90 days, and after the 90 days, you'll be eligible for Venus Prime, where you earn boosted yields. So it's actually a very, should I say, it's actually a very good way to earn passively. So my next question is this: do you think having higher APYs is also a factor why DeFi lending is preferable compared to, our regular traditional finance? And do you think it's sustainable?
Okay. I basically think that's like the whole idea, and that's one of the biggest advantage, the most attractive thing to people. It plays a huge factor. I feel attractive yield will always bring people in. I think when during the DeFi boom back then, I think having sweets and like crazy APYs were things that brought people into DeFi. I won't lie. I think back
Making
then
up to
providing
200%
liquidity.
APY.
Exactly. Yeah, providing liquidities back then on some protocols, you get to earn a very huge chunk of the APY, and it was crazy back then. I used to take advantage of some of them, although there were a couple of vogs here and there. But I think generally we've gotten to a stage. DeFi has gotten to a mature stage whereby um, most protocols are more transparent. They are not just more transparent. They kind of know what they are doing now, and they've tried to structure a system where these boosted APYs, these high APYs, they are not just enticing, but they are sustainable, which is the key thing. It's not just by bringing 100% or 500, 1,000% APY, but how sustainable is it? How well can it be sustained? How long can it be sustained? So I think it's a really important factor, and a huge a couple of things play a huge role in terms of this. I mean, this factor, especially market conditions. We know how volatile the market could be sometimes, and now having liquidity in certain pools and the likes. Also, protocol risk management could affect it. But I feel all in all, we've gotten to a stage in DeFi where most protocols have kind of learned from other protocols' mistakes and have built a system which is much more sustainable. So I would say as much as the high yields have been attractive to people, I think protocols today have like Venus have put out certain measures to make sure that these protocols are not just attractive but sustainable, which is a good one. And I'm hopeful that going on. How long have we been in terms of DeFi? We are not far long. I don't think we are. We are barely a decade
Mm,
in terms of this concept, but we've achieved a lot,
yes.
which is something commendable. So I would say for a fact that it's only going to go upward from here in terms of development.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's only a matter of time. I mean, in just a short period of time, you
Yeah,
would see that we've had like massive growth compared to our normal traditional system. So thank you so much. Thank you so
yes,
much for your response. Thank you. So I don't want to take your time much. I don't want to take too
no
much of your
problem.
time. So let's dive into the next question. Um, I know for a fact that, like we've discussed earlier, you've actually encountered one problem or the other when it comes to traditional finance.
Yeah.
Me to have actually had some issues with that. So I would like you to elaborate on some of these challenges and how DeFi addresses these issues we face with traditional finance.
Okay. Do you mean? Can you come again with the question?
Yeah, I'm talking about the issues we faced in when it comes to traditional finance, the
Okay.
rigidness, centralization, everything. So I would like you to elaborate on some of the challenges and how DeFi actually addresses these certain issues that we face there. Can talk
Okay.
about
You mean all
transparency.
around traditional finance?
Yes, yes.
All right, I think DeFi plays a huge role or has been playing a huge role already, and I think I would like to cite personal examples which is more relatable. Growing up, I think when I was in college, there were cases or there were
Okay.
situations where we had um I had issues with finances. I needed loans to pay my school fees and the likes. And there were several packages. I think a couple of commercial banks back then were offering several packages like that. They call them, I think, student loans, where you can go and get loans in the hopes of paying back probably after graduation, or you might have a system where you can get to pay back. But most of them were advertised. You see people like agents coming to school to advertise those kind of loans. But the problem with that is they do not actually give you what you want or what they propose. You might get those it's most of them were just marketing gimmicks targeted at just, I think, improving their customers or increasing their customer base without actually delivering on what they were supposed to do. So you get to go to the bank to get those loans, but you get to know that they gave it to certain people. The marginalization or the segregation was so much, you could barely get loans. People that actually needed those loans, which were people who were struggling with finances and could use those loans to settle their tuitions, couldn't get them. So, what's the essence of having those packages when the actual people who needed them could not get it? So, I think those were some of the challenges. But with DeFi, those form of segregation, those form of discrimination in terms of stuff like
Yes.
this do not exist. They do not exist. I don't think there's any smart contract that chooses who is black or who is white to give loans to, or who does this or who does that to give loans. You provided you can satisfy a particular criteria to get these loans, you are definitely going to get it. And not just get the loans, but whichever collateral you put in, you are going to get returns on them in terms of passive income, which is a good thing. So I think personally, I can say for a fact that I've encountered several problems, a ton of problems with traditional finance systems, and one which I've just described here. And I think DeFi is has paved a huge way in terms of solving this issue for me. So that's it.
Thank you. They've actually played a huge role in terms of transparency. Also, everything is out there in the open. There is nothing like you said. There's nothing like motivation. There's nothing like, oh, this is a woman, this is a man. She, I won't give
Yeah,
her, that kind of stuff. So, a lot. So, thank you so much. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you.
So, yeah. So, let's go straight to the next question.
Right.
We all know that DeFi is actually in its early stages. Like you said, it's not even up to a decade, and we've actually accomplished a lot. But
Yeah.
there is this issue with security. There's this issue of security, and we've actually witnessed
Yeah,
some
I can't
instances.
hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think your connection broke for a second. I couldn't hear some parts. Can you come again?
Okay, sure. I'm actually talking about security now. Like I said, we are still early, we are still new, so there are still some, should I say, some loopholes or some bugs or something that we've still not tackled yet.
Yeah.
Some issues with security. We've witnessed some instances where protocols are being compromised, which actually results in users having their funds drained. So that's actually one
Yeah.
of the major reasons why Venus actually place a strong emphasis on security. We don't joke with security. We actually invest a lot to ensure that our users' funds are safe all the time. Security is actually our top priority. It's actually our top priority.
Okay.
We take security very seriously. So that is why Venus was also recognized as the most secure protocol, as the third most secure protocol on the BNB chain, which was credited by Certic. So, but not all, should I
Well,
say, not all projects are, because like I said, it's still early. Not all projects are actually this secure and all of that. So I want you to tell me, in your own opinion, do you think security concerns are a major barrier to the widespread adoption of DeFi lending?
yeah, I think it plays a very huge role. Security is very, very paramount in every system. It is, and in order to gain for a new technology, in order to gain trust, security is very, very paramount. I remember growing up, our parents, they were really cautious about banks to use and banks financial systems or platforms not to which they do not use, which is common. I believe there is no new technology today that didn't go through that phase of doubts and all, and
Okay.
also didn't go through that stage of security issue. Um, but how to maintain consistency over a long period of time, how to also make sure that your protocol is secure is what builds people trust over a long period of time. So I can say for a fact that we've come a long way in terms of security. I remember back then during the DeFi boom, I can count a number of like protocols that were exploited back then. I think we used to wake up to them every day. You hear things like this protocol has been exploited. A hacker got half of the fund in a particular pool. Tomorrow you hear of another one and the likes. But I think over time, over the past few years, protocols and ecosystems have found ways to curtail most of these issues, and this has also helped to build trust among users. Imagine having to stay in a protocol without having any fear of security issues. I think it's very paramount in terms of building trust and building an identity in the DeFi space today. So I think we have come a long way. That's what I'll say. We are still early, and we have come a long way at the same time in terms of the security aspect of blockchain, and this has helped to build trust over a long period of time. So that's it. I feel there's still a long way to go, but we
Yeah.
have made tried so far, and it's really commendable, especially for protocols like Venus and the likes. Debs, are you there? Oops, I think your network has glitched again.
I think I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, I think your network glitched again. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I heard all what you said, but
After,
then no problem.
yeah,
Thank you so much for your detailed explanation. And yeah, security actually plays a huge role in adoption. So
yeah,
I believe it actually helps too that there are some tools that we can use to curtail this funny, should I say, security issues. Like I think Oh, I think this tool. What I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember the name. When I remember, I'll get back to it. But
no problem.
yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering. I'm really sorry for my network issue. Hope it's not too much of a disturbance.
No, no, it's not. It's not. I'm glad. I think earlier it was worse because I wasn't hearing you in real time, but I think it's way better
Yeah.
now.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened or why it's acting this way now. So let me not take up your time much further. So I'll just
Okay,
go to the next question. So
okay,
my next question is actually a very obvious one. I
okay.
already know what your answer would be, but let's just discuss it. So, do you foresee DeFi lending completely replacing traditional lending in the future?
Okay, that's a really tough one in terms of outrightly replacing. I don't think, as much as I would say that DeFi has the level of improvement in DeFi has been tremendous. The level of growth we've seen over the past few years has been, and in terms of prospects, DeFi has huge prospect in terms of disrupting the traditional finance system.
Okay.
But okay, Debs, you can't hear me? Can you hear me
I can
now?
hear you now. Yes, I can.
Yeah, I think you went off for a second. There's the time you just um your screen just freezes. But
It's
I hope you can hear me now.
very now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me piggyback a bit. So what I was saying in essence is, I think DeFi might not outrightly replace traditional finance system. It might just help to enhance certain aspects of it. I think government policies and government regulations will play a huge role in it. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sure. So as I was saying, government regulations and policies will play a huge role in it. But what I see in the coming years is there a couple of big actors in the financial industry take cognizance of blockchain and DeFi in general and start adopting some features in it to help improve the traditional finance system we have today. So I've seen it. We've seen it. I think we've seen it in several ecosystem. A lot of industries are now trying to use DeFi, are trying to utilize tools in the blockchain space, in the Web3 space generally, to improve on some of the Web3 and 2 products they have. So I think it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be more of not just like an outright replacement of the traditional system we have, but more of utilizing some of the key features we have in DeFi and some of the key components of DeFi to help improve the traditional finance system, which I think is a very huge one. And over the next 10, 20 years, a lot of things can happen in terms of this improvement. So to answer your question, it might likely not outrightly replace, but there's going to be more of an improvement to the traditional finance system thanks to DeFi.
Okay, thank you so much for your response.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your response. So, you're actually all very accurate and very insightful. And I have just one final question for you. You ready for my last question? I can't see your screen again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I can. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can hear you. So
All right, you can go on.
I was okay. I was saying I have just one final question for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you can
So
go on.
okay. So once again, thank you for accepting to join us today to be our guest. And I am actually happy you used the Venus product. You
Okay.
said you've used our lending products, you've used our lending feature, and I actually like that you know what we're trying to build and you actually like it. And I would actually have I just need your opinion on this. How
Okay.
do you think how do you think users can utilize Venus as a DeFi lending protocol in your own opinion?
Okay. As we discussed earlier, I think staking is one feature that you can leverage on Venus, which is really important or really juicy. You get to earn attractive APYs. And also, just like you spoke about the Venus Prime, I think getting that additional advantage in terms of boosted APY, it's one aspect of DeFi that a couple of people can try out, and which is where Venus protocol in terms of staking has done a huge job in. There are a ton of protocols to stake in, but I think Venus has the advantage, especially with the Venus Prime. I think that's one feature that people should look out staking. And one other one is supplying assets. Borrowing and lending on Venus is superb. It's I think it's second to none because they are how seamless it is to do it. I think I mentioned late 2023 was when I was trying to explore a couple of protocols, try to position myself for a couple of airdrops, which a couple of them which I have benefited from, and I can say Venus played a huge role in it because a couple of assets I do not have or I didn't have back then, but I try to supply the ones I have as assets and get loans. I get those assets to do whatever I want and then return them. And the sweet thing is, the ones I put in on Venus as my collateral, they basically earn me return over time. So I think that's a really really good one from Venus. These are some of the products I use. I think the protocol also offers the ability to mint their stable coin on the Venus ecosystem and also enable users to also participate in governance, which is a huge one. I think having a say in the ecosystem is it shows how Venus has created a very conducive ecosystem or conducive community. It's community centric. I believe every voice has to count. That's the whole essence of blockchain and decentralization and Web3 generally. It's the idea is to build a community centric ecosystem where everyone's voice counts. And Venus has been second to none in that aspect too, in terms of governance, trying to make sure that everyone's voices count. And whoever has a stake in the network in terms of Venus, having holding Venus token can have a say in the network. So I believe these are some of the ways that Venus has helped to improve DeFi and also to offer people the access to decentralized finance as a whole. So I think Venus has done a huge job. And personally, as a an active user of Venus protocol, I can say they are top notch in terms of delivery and also these features. They are top notch.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
that's actually what we aim for, to make the community to benefit so much from, yeah, to benefit so much from decentralization and all of that. And that's one of the main reasons why we are also expanding. I don't know if you check, but we've actually launched on other blockchains. We don't just run on BNB now. So we are live, currently live on Ethereum and OPBNB, and soon we'll be live on
It's a
Arbitrum.
cool one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And in a way, it has also helped us to increase our community, get more users, and for more people to benefit from our features. We
yeah,
have
definitely.
different, yeah. Me personally, I'm actually a fan of using I love using the isolated pools. I frequent the isolated markets more. So it's not just Venus Prime. Users can just earn from Venus Prime. You can also earn from just staking. You can earn from just taking your XVS tokens. You can earn from supplying your assets. You can earn from borrowing assets. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's why we are spreading, so we to give people more opportunity to access our platform. So thank you so much for joining us today. It has actually been a pleasure having you here with us. I wanted to ask you if any I want to know if anybody have any questions. Let me go to the comment section if there are any questions
all
or
right.
thoughts.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me today and to speak about my experience, especially with Venus Protocol. It was a pleasure discussing with you. Um, I'm looking forward to questions if anyone has one.
Uh, there is all my Yeah, I don't think there are any questions. So that's to say our audience actually understood everything that was discussed here. So do you have any final remark, any final thoughts, anything you want to add? Anything you want to tell us?
Okay, I would just end with saying that generally we've come a long way. Aside DeFi, blockchain and Web3 as a whole, we've come a long way. I can remember back then when I started, there weren't a lot of there wasn't a lot of attention in crypto or blockchain as compared to how it is today. I think institutional investors are in here right now. I think a lot of people with the Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, and the likes, a lot of attention has come into the space. And it goes to show you how far we've come and how well we are doing. It goes to show that if there's nothing that's going to give you that vindication that we're doing something right, but the fact that government is not involved in crypto, trying to regulate a couple of things, investors are coming in from different angles, and all, it goes to show that there's huge prospects in this space, which is Web3 space. And I would end with saying that we've come a long way, and I'm really looking forward to achieving whole lot in the space as a person, as an individual, and as a team, as a group, with you and a couple of other friends. So it was really, really nice talking with you, Debbie. Um, I'd like to do this one other time.
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I would love that too. Honestly, I would really love that. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And thank you guys for joining us. Please don't forget to follow us on all our social media accounts. And if you have any question, send me. You can always send me a DM, send Mr. Pius a DM, or you could just drop it in our community, in the Venus community group. I would answer you. So thank you so much once again for joining us, Mr. Pius. Thank you once again. Uh, I think I think
All
that's
right,
that's for today for now. All right. See you
all
on our
right. Thank
next
you.
call.
Bye. Yeah, bye.
Bye. Bye everyone.